you sell and you profit from the price difference. Everything happens quickly, and investing is different. You buy an asset and you hold it for months to years, waiting for it to grow. A trader profits from the price movements, while an investor profits from long-term growth. Both approaches work, but they differ in pace and style. So that should answer your question on what is the difference between trading and investing. Coming back to the market, and we're looking at the AED-CNY, and this one's got some long wicks, some shorter candles. Yeah, it's not one that I would participate in really. Um, with the long wicks means it's bouncing around too much, and it's makes it very easy to lose a trade. Very easy. It doesn't stay in the same place. Well, doesn't move in sort of one direction nicely. It can bounce all over the place, as you see on the buyers here at the moment. It's just leapt from the bottom right to the top. So it's very difficult to trade on something like that. Let's move on to another one and have a look at another one. And this one's it's got the same issues, but not quite as bad. This particular candle's not jumping around so much as it has done previously, but I still wouldn't trade on this. It's not reliable enough. And then this one, just this one, you have no idea where it's going. You would have to look back in its history to try and work out how often it's been below the Keltner, and it doesn't go below very often. And when it does jump back up quite quickly. So if you could wait for a return here, for its change of direction, you might be in a safe bet, but you'd have to sit and watch this for quite a while to actually catch it. Well, it might be doing it now. No, no, it's leveling off. So you'd have to watch that for quite a while before you realise it gave you the right signal. Now this one, it's sort of got a pattern there, but something I wouldn't participate in either. So moving on to the next one. This one's doing something quite unusual out of its pattern. So that's something I wouldn't do. And then this one, I no. Let's go to another question while we're looking at these. And the next question would be, what is a financial market and what types are there? A financial market is where assets are bought and sold. Okay, Forex is a currency market. You trade pairs like the euro and the USD, and the crypto market is like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and thousands of other coins. The stock market is stocks of companies like Apple, Tesla, companies like that, IBM. Each market operates according to its own rules. So the financial market and other types of markets, there's quite a few. There is quite a few of them. So that's something to keep in mind. Back to the market again. I hope that last one answered your questions. Looking at this. So what most people would think is because it's gone up and it's come down, it's going to go back up again. But looking at its history, there's nothing to tell you it will do that again. So this would be quite risky to do something with. It would be quite risky. So we'll move on to another one and have a look at another one. Yeah, see, the wicks are quite high on here as well. That's bouncing around a bit. I have noticed that the last few days it's been like this. So there's something going on in the world which is creating these long wicks. Nothing really there. There could be something, but you'd have to wait and see. And then going on to another one. This has got the same issue. Long wicks again. But there is a bit of a pattern there. And it is rising up. So there could be something here. I'm not trading today. I'm not even concentrating on it really. We're just answering questions today. But this is one we could have put something on this one. But I don't think it's going to go much higher. The wick might go higher, but the solid candle I don't think is going to go much higher than it already is. There we go. It's rising up. There's your wick appearing now. There's the wick again. There you go. So it's a long wick. And let's go. It's still rising. It could go up as far as that other wick. That's quite high. I think here's about going to be its limit. I think the buyers here are going to be a bit stretched here. And then the sellers will pop in any minute now. You'd have to be really quick off the mark here to catch it before it drops down the wick, if you understand what I mean. And then you'll be a little bit safer. There we go. And there is the change of direction, like I just said. There it is. So that's the sort of thing you need to look out for. Going on to another one. This is forming a pattern. There is a pattern forming there. It could change direction here somewhere. If it's going to follow the pattern. Same again. I'd want to see the next candle coming out before I'd even entertain it. And it seems to be, the sellers seem to be more in power at the moment. But I'd imagine it would change direction somewhere around this time. That's still says, yeah, no, I wouldn't touch that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go near that one either. We'll just keep looking. Like I say, we're just having a browse around the market and just seeing what's occurring, really. That'll be a difficult one to tell what it's going to do. The RSI is saying it's going to rise, but you need at least two different sort of signals to make a judgment. See where it said it's going to rise, and it's just changed direction very quickly. And this one, this one's looking quite nice to go to start being sold. But same again, need to see the next candle. Yeah, it's just making its decision. And there it goes. So that's what I would do on that one. And then going on to the next one. That's a little bit difficult to work out what's going to go there. Yeah, I'll leave that as well, I think, at the moment. Yeah, this one looks like quite a nice one, but it's right in the middle of the Keltner. If we called it earlier, it would have been all right, because it can, if it reaches the middle Keltner, it could bounce either way. So it becomes a bit risky. And it's sitting around sort of the middle of the Keltners at the moment, so it could go in any direction. So I'd like to, I'll probably have to watch that for a while, but I'm not going to do that now. Now, normally we wouldn't go lower than 92% now. We're at 92% now. No, we're at 70. I thought that was at 92%. I must have missed it. That's it. I didn't click it hard enough. Right, so yeah, that I wouldn't touch that. No telling what that's going to do. And the same with this one. It could level off. It could drop. Yeah, so there's no telling what that's going to do. That's another difficult one. Sometimes you spend a little time looking through the market just to find what is available, what opportunities are available. And sometimes it takes a while. You don't always just open the platform and spot something straight away. And I think it's always best to have a look through the platform first before you jump in and throw a trade in there. This one looks like quite a nice one. The wicks are quite long all the way through. So it is tending to bounce at the moment. So you still need to be a little bit careful on when you place the trade. Yeah, the wick on that is really long. See what I mean? It's just bouncing quite a lot. Makes it very difficult to predict. Yeah. See, it's done it there. It's just bounced all the way up. See how these ones like this I find very, very risky. It's more like gambling than trading. Another one there, not so clever. Another one. Let's open another question. The next question I found was, which market should a beginner choose? Start with Forex or binary options. That's what I would advise. Either Forex or binary. They have a clear structure, plenty of educational materials, relatively predictable movements. The crypto market is very volatile, which can be stressful for a beginner, that's for sure. And the stock market requires more capital at the start. So get comfortable in one market, then expand. Don't try and use too many markets at the same time. I'm a lover of Forex and binary options, but I think binary options is the I wouldn't say it's the easiest, and it's not the safest. It's just I don't know. I'm more comfortable with binary options for beginners, and they from my students and things, they've had a lot more luck and a lot more. It's easier for them to learn it. Now, going on to the next one. Now, we're at 92% still. This is another one I wouldn't really want to. It's a little bit risky because there's not a lot of movement there. But we'll move on to the next one. Still at 92%. See, this one's leveling off. Excuse me. Excuse me. So this is another one which is not predictable. But it's doing the same thing. It's here and here. So you could sit and wait. I would sit and wait for this because I'd expect it to either come to here, but there again, it could fall all the way down to here. But it's changed direction already. But we're not sure. We're still not sure. So yes, here we go. So it's still dropping. Sellers are still working on it. It's a little bit undecided at the moment. So I would have to sit and watch this for at least another one or maybe two candles to see where it's going to go. So it's really indecisive. Oh, there we go. It's decided to go that way. So now it's leveled off here with the wicks. Now it could change here. But if it doesn't, there we go. Is it gonna do what I think it's gonna do? If it follows the pattern. It's looking like but it could bounce quite easily. Because them wicks are they're not small. So it has been bouncing around quite a lot. But it's looking this one could be a good opportunity. Yeah, it's looking that way. Yeah, it's gonna follow. I think it's gonna follow that pattern. So this would be quite a good one to get in on, I think. Now let's move on to another one. Let's open another question. And the next question I found was, do you need to sit in front of all the charts all day? No, you don't need to sit in there. I don't sit in front of the charts all day. On the contrary, it's better to choose specific hours. I'll get the words out in a minute. A specific session and trade only then. So if you choose 1 hour, 2 hours, that's what you stick to. The more random entries, the worse the results. It's you find an hour or find 2 hours in a day where you're comfortable and it seems to work for you. There was a point where I used to like mornings, and then I changed it and I moved it to afternoons. Then sometimes I'll pick 2 times. I'll have 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. It's all down to yourself, to how you feel comfortable and how you're feeling at the time. You know, some people wake up and they're just not ready to do anything in the morning, and they need to sort of be awake for a few hours before they'll trade. Um, in the mornings, I need 2 hours to go for my walk and go to the gym, and then I'm fit and my head's in the right space, ready to trade. So everyone's different. Everyone is very different. Now, looking back at this one, it's not very predictable. This one, I wouldn't go anywhere near really. And then moving to the next one, not really anything there. Going to the next one. I wouldn't like that one either. This one's a little bit unpredictable. So you will spend some time just flicking through. But you've got to control it, and you've got to be able to sit and watch and wait for the right opportunity. Some people, they tend to let feelings go over and feel that they've got to trade. You haven't got to trade. You can just sit and wait and search and find the right opportunity and just take them opportunities. There's no rush, or there shouldn't be any rush. You should just flick through them, and you only want 4, 5, 6 trades a day to make a good living, but you need to pick the right opportunities. And you can get all that information on how to do that through the Telegram channel. All the training and the materials are all available in the Telegram channel. Now, let's pick another question. Now, this is quite a common question. How to study indicators? Don't try and learn everything at once. Start with the basics. Start with the RSI, moving average, the MACD levels and levels. The main thing is to understand what the indicator is showing, not just look for the buy button. Okay, so really sort of try and learn what the RSI is telling you, moving averages, what that's telling you, the MACD and the levels, what it's all telling you. And then just don't look at the buy button and the sell button. You need to have a little bit of an understanding of what all the indicators are telling you. Now, going on a little bit, we're now at 90%. Now, normally we wouldn't come down this low, but we are just having a look around the market. So, see this one? Uh, there might be something here, but you'd have to watch it for a while. See, looking at the RSI is telling me that it's just going to rise. Now it's telling me it's going to level off. So it's moving there, it's rising again. So there's really you've got no idea what this one's going to do. It could be doing the same thing here and the same thing it did here. It could be repeating these, which would be a long pattern. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to risk that really. For me, that's a little bit too risky. Now, where were we? It's well, we'll go back to the top now, I suppose. That's a little bit unpredictable. Not the sort of thing we want to work with. That would be just too risky. There's not a lot of movement there, and when you're putting a trade in there, it'll be just too risky, too close, too risky, not enough movement. It's like micromanaging. It's just too little. And this one's very similar. You just got no idea. More of a gamble. Same with this one again. You've really got no idea what that's going to do. It could. So there's no real regularity with it. So I wouldn't touch that. There might be something in the future. Give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Something might appear. This one's doing something very similar. But let's get out. Let's dig out another question. Now, how do you determine the trade size based on fixed percentage of risk relative to the capital? Now, the formula for binary options is simpler than for Forex, because if you lose the entire stake amount. Take your capital and multiply it by your chosen risk percentage. For example, if you had, say, $200 and a risk of 2% per trade, that is, your maximum entry would be about $4. If the trade is a loss, you lose exactly that $4, which represents 2% of your deposit. If you win with an 80% payout, you make a profit of $3.20. I'd advise beginners to risk no more than 2%, or even just 1%, really, per trade, if starting with a small deposit like $200. This allows you to withstand a streak of 5 to 6 consecutive losses without wiping out your account. So this is where risk management comes in, where you're only risking the amount that it won't wipe you out straight away. So, and here you could lose up to 5 or 6 in this explanation, 5 or 6 losses, which won't cripple you. But the chances of having 5 to 6 losses in a row is quite thin. It is quite thin. That's something which I wouldn't expect if you're using the same system as what we do, or as what I do. Okay, now let's see, that hasn't gone above the Keltner at all. So I'd imagine that will, if it changes direction here now, it could change, but I believe it will start getting sold any minute now, and it will start dropping. So this would be something I don't think I'd be too interested in. There might be something there though, but it would mean you'd have to sit and watch that for a while. Now this one, there's a little bit of a pattern showing, but that's not ready to be. The buyers are not ready to jump in there yet. Right. Well, I'm going to end today's stream because I'm going to be back into the. I'm going to be in the Telegram, my Telegram channel, later this evening. So I'm going to get myself ready for a live session in Telegram. And don't forget, for those guys who are all on the fence, if you are sitting on the fence and don't know, well, they want to try and have a go at this, what you'll find is a promo code in the description, which will give you 100% of your deposit. So if you put the minimum amount you can put in is $30. If you put $30 in, you will get a bonus of $30. So if you put $50 in, bonus of 50. If you put $100 in, bonus of 100. So there's a little bit of help to get you guys started, and I will see you in the Telegram channel in maybe 40 minutes, an hour, something like that. And I will see you there for a live session where we will actually be starting to trade. So I'll see you then.